Well, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, depending where you're joining us from. We are counting down now, L minus 14 minutes and counting, till SpaceX is targeting, quote, a break in the weather to try to launch Starlink 8 11 from Slick 40 here at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. We're continuing to monitor the conditions here at the Space Coast studio. It's definitely overcast, but it doesn't look too bad. But as you can see there on the radar, there is definitely some weather off on the coast. Today's launch is a southern launch trajectory, so if you happen to be down in the Caribbean or the southeastern part of Florida, definitely head on outside in the next few minutes and get ready, as you may be able to see a Falcon 9 fly through the sky. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the launch pad, and here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together, and we're glad to have you joining us here today. Today's Falcon 9 is booster 1077, going for its 15th flight after previously supporting SpaceX Crew 5, GPS 36, Inmarsat I6F2, Starlink 5-10, CRS 28, Galaxy 37, Starlink 6-13, 6-25, 6-33, CRS NG20, Starlink 6-43, 6-51, 6-63, 10-4, and hoping to support 8-11 here today. This booster has always operated from the Space Coast on the eastern part of the United States, having its first flight all the way back on October 5th of 2022 from historic Launch Complex 39A with Crew 5. The average reuse time of this booster is 51 days with a record of 29 days. Today's turnaround is a 39-day turnaround for the booster, but that has been extended a couple of days as we've been monitoring the weather down here on the coast, and it's delayed this mission a couple of times. On board today is another batch of Starlink V2 mini satellites, heading up for the second generation of the SpaceX Starlink constellation. This includes a mixture of 13 direct-to-cell satellites and 8 normal V2 mini satellites on board. We expect SpaceX to begin their live views of the pad roughly about 5 minutes before liftoff. We are working to bring up our own cameras online down here on the Space Coast, hopefully over the next few weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for those. If you're just joining us, though, welcome. L minus 11 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. If you haven't yet, take a moment to share out the stream, invite people to join us, and let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We'll run some shout outs where you're watching from, and you can keep sending in those questions. We'll be answering those as well. I'll be taking you through commentary of flight, as SpaceX no longer does that. I will be stepping aside just for the moment of liftoff through MECO as a step outside and enjoy the launch here. I might not even step outside. I might just lean to the right and see it from my desk. But we'll be taking you through all the way through liftoff to first stage landing and second stage confirmation of SECO 1. Falcon 9 will conduct a second burn of its second stage, 54 minutes, 48 seconds into flight, for 2 seconds to finalize its deployment orbit prior to Starlink deployment 1 hour, 3 minutes, 42 seconds into flight. Again, SpaceX doesn't provide live coverage of that anymore, but they will confirm deployment via their social media channels. We got lots of people tuning in from all over the world. We got J. Phil watching in Paris, Ginger's in Oklahoma, David is in Northern Ireland. We got Ginger in Lakewood, Washington. Cabracel, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, is watching from New Zealand. 3:22 a.m. Thank you for staying up with us. Definitely get some rest after this for it, but appreciate you being here. Bob the Turtle says, watching from the land of the Rexies. Now, I don't know if that's a reference to Rexy the dinosaur or a different Rexy. You have to let me know. Marie is watching from Devon, England. Great to have you. J. Phil's at his desk. Walker is watching from the southern part of Illinois. Welcome. Great to have you here. We also have Maria watching from Devon, England. And we have Ton in Korea. Valerie's in Corsica, France. Welcome. Great to have you all tuning in with us here today. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button, share out the stream. It's free to do, and it does really help us out. We're continuing to monitor the weather conditions as SpaceX attempts to launch in a break in the weather for today. They did confirm that propellant loading was underway 25 minutes ago, but they said specifically they're watching for that break in the weather to see if they will actually be able to fly or not. This is the regular part of the season, hurricane season, late summer season down here on the Space Coast. A lot of these weather cells pop up, these really micro cells, and they really pop up all times of the day. So it really doesn't matter what time of day they're launching. It's something they're going to have to watch for. Gary's watching from London. John Wick's from Paris. Bob Turtle says, I want to see Rexy in space. I do too. We'll have to try to make that happen one day. Andy is in San Francisco. Welcome. Great to have you here. If you're just joining us, we are counting down now L-8 minutes, 22 seconds, and counting till launch of SpaceX Starlink 8-11 from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Taking a look at the launch calendar ahead, you can always stay up to date on the latest launch calendar at tlpnetwork.com/launches. On Thursday, we have SpaceX launching an NRL mission from Vandenberg. We have Polaris Dawn now set to launch on Saturday at 3:38 a.m. That is a delay that has obviously just come in the last couple of hours, as it was targeting Friday, but now it is targeting Saturday. We have an H-2A launching next Wednesday out of Japan, a Soyuz 2.1A up to the space station also on Wednesday next week. We have a couple of customer missions on Falcon 9 next week on the 12th and the 15th, and then Electron targeting a launch in about a week and a half on next Monday. Lots of other vehicles set to fly this month. We got a PSLV, another Soyuz, Starship, Vulcan, maybe New Glenn in early October, and a Falcon Heavy in early October as well. So definitely make sure you've engaged that subscribe button so you never miss a live launch coverage, and become a member to go behind the scenes and join us as we take you out to the launch sites during remote setup and different things like that. L-7 minutes, 5 seconds and counting. You can see there it's green across the board for lightning and wind conditions currently on the Cape. That is a really good sign, but it's not just the conditions around the Cape that have to be right. It's the conditions on the flight path as well. We got Jillian watching from Kissimmee, Florida. Great to have you. We got Renee in Brazil. Penny is in North Carolina. Great to have you here. Karen, hello from a cruise ship in the Caribbean. I am jealous. I hope you have clear skies and get an amazing view here today. If you do happen to grab a photo or some video even of today's launch, make sure you send that in to us, Karen. We would love to see what it looks like from your ship and enjoy the incredible view. It is a southern launch trajectory, so you should be in luck to have a great view here today. We are at L-6 minutes and counting. SpaceX has begun their live feed, so we are getting ready to bring that up on the screen here once they get started. Continuing to monitor those weather conditions down here on the Cape. L-5 minutes, 49 seconds and counting. Mark says, all okay with Polaris Dawn for tomorrow. We have had an update. We have not had an email yet, but we have had an update saying that they are now targeting to our launch calendar Saturday at 3:38 a.m. So another 24-hour slip. We'll have to adjust that on the countdown tracker as well. So bear with us as we update that following the Starlink. 5 minutes, 20 seconds and counting till launch. As always, if you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by taking us at the launch pad. Work on answering those. And there is a live view of Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, just a few miles from the TLP Space Coast studio here. 4 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. We're going to sync our T0 with theirs as we come down to the final minutes of the count. We are going to bring up the mission control nets as they continue through those final minutes. Give you some live.
Stromback retract has started.
And that Stromback retract is now underway. We'll be going full screen here. L-4 minutes, 20 seconds and counting till launch. Stromback retract underway. Next major call-outs of events will be at that 1 minute mark. That's when Falcon 9 will take over the countdown and pressurize its tanks to internal flight levels, and at that point take over the decision to fly or not. Slick 40 here, getting ready to fly its first ever crew to the space station later in the month with Crew 9. It'll be amazing to get to see the first crew fly from a new human-rated pad for the first time really since Starliner. But that means we will have 4 crew operational pads down on the Space Coast. An incredible advancement from where we were just a year ago with only 1. T-minus 3 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. If you are just joining us, welcome. You're looking at live views of Space Launch Complex 40, Slick 40, Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida, where SpaceX is preparing to launch 22 more Starlink V2 minis and direct-to-cells to low Earth orbit. This Falcon 9 booster is going for its 15th flight. This is booster 1077 on a 39-day turnaround. It's attempting to land on the drone ship. Just read the instructions. L-minus 3 minutes and counting. Miranda, Starlink doesn't work very good on aircraft. It depends on the aircraft, and they are definitely working to improve that with the more satellites. The more satellites we get into orbit, the better the Starlink service will be. And having used Starlink now for a couple of years for events remotely, it is definitely improving. But yes, there's definitely a long way to go when with everyone now wanting to switch to it. L-minus 2 minutes, 26 seconds and counting till launch. If you haven't yet, become a TLP member. Hit that join button down below. Just 99 cents a month helps us with our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because space is better together. All that goes into expanding our equipment, building out the new TLP studio here on the Space Coast, and bringing you better coverage of everything space. It also gives you access to those custom TLP launch emotes, which we use now at T-minus 2 minutes. Let's see that go, no go in the chat from all of you for flight here today. SpaceX continue to monitor the weather to try to find a break in the clouds to be able to fly here today, and we'll see if they can get Falcon 9 off the ground.
Stage 2, lock load complete.
At T-minus 90 seconds, we're going to be following this closely. I'm going to step outside
Ground
just to see
gas
liftoff, and I will be back to bring you commentary through separation and landing of the first stage. T-minus 1 minute, 20 seconds and counting till SpaceX Starlink 8-11 launches from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Falcon 9 is in startup. LD, go for launch.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Go Starlink, go DTC.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Mach 1. Q.
Back in flight chill.
Nominal trajectory.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
And MVAC ignition.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And if you're just joining us, T plus 4 minutes, 15 seconds into flight. The studio is still rumbling, but it was a very cloudy day. We only saw the flame peek out for a couple of seconds early in the flight here today, but that Falcon 9 rumble never gets old. T plus 4 minutes, 30 seconds into flight. The first stage has reached apogee, 119 kilometers. Now beginning its journey back down to the drone ship. Just read the instructions. Second stage continuing under power, now coming up to traveling over 11,000 kilometers an hour, passing 150 kilometers in altitude. If it's your first time here, though, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the launch pad. Here at TLP, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together. We're glad to have you here. Definitely take a moment, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another live launch coverage. Docking, undocking, or return to Earth will bring you full coverage of Starliner's return, the Polaris Dawn mission, as well as Crew 9, all set to happen this month. Sharon, Zach, better get it insured. I don't know what that's referring to. Maybe the rattling of the house. It's all right. We've got good insurance. I'm more worried about a hurricane than a rocket. Well, at least a Falcon 9 rocket. 5 minutes, 30 seconds into flight, we're coming up to that entry burn. That entry burn is when the first stage will conduct its first of 2 recovery burns, slowing it down as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. That entry burn set to begin 6 minutes, 11 seconds into flight, lasting 23 seconds here today. As also, if you can if you took photos of today, make sure you send those in. I know some people were watching from a cruise ship. I hope you saw that. It actually ended up launching in a northern launch trajectory, not a southern, So the correction there, sorry about that. Stand by for entry burn.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there we go, that entry burn now underway. Falcon 9 slowing down as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, beginning the first of 2 burns for its recovery. Also, make sure you join us over on the TLP Discord. That's where our community hangs out in between streams. We'd love to see you there. I am in TLP live comms right now. We'll hang out in there and kind of do a bit of a post-show during these daytime launches.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
To see you there. And there is a good entry burn. Now,
Both vehicles are on a nominal trajectory.
I always like to point out, look at the speed this is traveling. That first stage on the left side of your screen, still traveling over 5,500 kilometers an hour, only 32 kilometers in altitude. And now just using the thickness of the atmosphere, those grid fins, and its body size, it's going to slow down in preparation for its landing burn. That's set to begin 7 minutes, 59 seconds into flight, lasting 23 seconds to land on the drone ship. Just read the instructions. We'll be staying live through first stage landing and confirmation of SECO 1. That's when the second stage on the right side of your screen will shut down for the first time, confirming a good parking orbit. That second stage will conduct a secondary burn, SES-2, 54 minutes, 48 seconds into flight for 2
Stage 1
seconds
transonic.
to finalize its deployment orbit before Starlink deployment, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 42 seconds into flight, which SpaceX will confirm via their social media as they no longer provide live coverage of that. We are counting down to the launch of Polaris Dawn, now targeting Saturday. We'll bring you live coverage of that, and we hope you'll join us back here later tonight for the launch of NROL 113 from Vandenberg, currently targeting 11:20 p.m. Eastern
Stage
Time.
2 is in terminal guidance.
Stand by for landing burn start. Looks like it's starting now. And the drone ship just read the instructions. Coming
burn.
into view.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And a great touchdown there.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Falcon 9 Booster 1077 completing its 15th mission. We'll have to wait till we see it fly again. Watching for confirmation of SECO 1. And there we have SECO 1 confirmed on the second stage in a good parking orbit. Another burn scheduled a little bit from now, and then deployment. Stay tuned to SpaceX social media for confirmation. That's going to do it for us here from our TLP Space Coast studio. My name's Zach here at the launch pad. It's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow because we believe that space is better together. Join me over in the Discord for kind of a post-show hangout, and we'll see you back here later tonight for the launch of NROL 113 from Vandenberg, currently targeting 11:20 p.m. And we hope to see you then because space is better together. Have a great rest of your Thursday.